Well, we are live on YouTube. Welcome everyone on this evening, Halloween 2016. You've noticed the title to my video here. It's about my lovely wife, Karen, and how she was used of the Lord in a supernatural way to catapult me in the area of business and my calling, and specifically for the Empire State Building. So, if you'll just indulge me here a little bit, I would like to tell you a story that happened 14 years ago, this very night on Halloween. We as a family, we were over at a church here inside the Twin Cities called Living Word Christian Fellowship. And at any rate, we were there at Living Word, and it was Halloween, and it was a time that we were, had little children at the time. Remember, this was 14 years ago. And at any rate, we're going through the different places, and they have this big, huge place of celebrating and so forth, and it was really, really cool. And at any rate, I heard my wife call out to me once in one area, but she wasn't around. And then I heard her call me again in another area I was, and we kind of separated, and she wasn't around. I looked around, I was like, where is she? Where is she? And then there was another area, and I heard her call out to me the third time. And I was like, wow, where is she at? I'm looking all over and stuff like this. Well, anyway, after the event, or maybe even before the event had ended, I asked Karen, I said, we separated and so forth, so where were you? I said, and she said, oh, I was in this room, this room, this room. I was like, oh, that's very interesting. I said, did you call out to me, or something like that, a number of times, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And she goes, yes, I did. I mean, excuse me. My fault. Sorry, my bad. She said, no, she didn't. You have to forgive me. It's getting close to midnight here, or whatever time it is, Still Halloween, though. At any rate, and she said, no, I didn't. So we're kind of scratching our heads, and trying to figure out what's going on. And I don't know, it was that night or maybe a few days later or whatever. But anyway, I come to figure out and understand that the Lord had spoken to me audibly, not once, not 2 times, but 3 times, using my wife's voice and calling me out within that atmosphere. It was very, very, very interesting. And, according to the scriptures, when Samuel was called to the Lord, Samuel the prophet in the Old Testament, and he was with Eli, he was called out not once, not twice, but 3 times with Eli, and God used Eli's voice to get his attention. Now, some people might be wondering, now, why would God use your wife's voice to speak to you? Well, I'll tell you why. And let me speak something here parenthetically a little bit. These glasses I'm wearing are brand new. And for you guys that know me and so forth, you know that I'm prophetic, and I love the prophetic, and I love how God speaks that way and so forth for such a time as this. Well, he's given me new vision, people, new vision. You may have noticed that I haven't been around that much in regards to the last video with the Empire State Building. We are moving forward, but a little bit of challenges and so forth. And main thing I've been working on is the inheritance, as I mentioned to you before. But at any rate, God gave new vision. Now, I've been asked the Lord specifically what that meant in regards to him calling me out not once, not twice, but 3 times on a Halloween, in the midst of all of these children in different age groups. So one is it happened at the elementary place, then it happened at the middle school place, then it happened in the high school place, all these different stations, And I've said, Lord, how in the world does that relate to business and so forth, etc. And at any rate, he spoke to me today inside of this office, and I'm so excited about it. And he said, and let me kind of back up a little bit. People have prophesied over me, and they've said, oh, you're called to children and stuff like that and so forth. But you know what, guys? That's the furthest thing from my heart. That's the furthest thing in my heart. That's one thing I love about the Lord, is that he deals with our heart. He goes with our heart. What's in my heart is building wealth, building business, big business. And I think, like I said, like Steve Jobs, and so forth, etc., with my personality. And so I've had to wrestle with that, just wrestle and wrestle and wrestle with that. And then as I'm wrestling with that, specifically as far as like maybe I'm called to be with children and have ministry and all this stuff, but yada and all this stuff. Anyway, here's the deal. The Lord starts speaking to me during that whole time about the Empire State Building and making it a hotel and sending me sovereignly. And I've told you that in my videos as far as going directly there in New York City to that location. Well, here's the deal. The way I come across sometime may look like that I'm kind of like, well, let's just use the best word out there, eccentric. I'm definitely eccentric, no doubt. And I'll be the first to admit it. A very unique guy, very creative guy. But at any rate, it says in the Word, it says that God chooses the foolish to confound the wise. So it may look like on the outside that I might be somebody who's like called to, minister to children and talk to children, all that stuff, yada, and all that. But you know what, though? That is not God for me. Just like it lines up throughout the Scripture and so forth. So many people had pegged, like David, they would have never dreamed that David would be the king of Israel. They would never dream that Samuel would have been called to be the prophet he was because he was the last in line and they had to go say who else is here and all that stuff. And he was last in line after all these sons and so forth. You have to read the story. It's very interesting. Nobody would have ever picked out Jesus to be the Son of God and the Messiah and so forth, the way he came and the way he was, and they're just kind of scratching their heads. Let me tell you something about God, G-D God. He is the master and the element of surprise. Definitely, because he wants to keep you on your toes. Woohoo! Keep you on your toes. So, on the outside, I look like the last person that would be called of God to take the Empire State Building, the literal Empire State Building, and make it into a hotel, the most beautiful hotel in the world, to bring Christians and Jews together on the board, to bring glory to his name, to cause something big to happen worldwide for his glory. I would be the last person you would think. But the Lord's like, nope, that's not the case. You are the one. You are chosen. So anyway, it was right here in this office today, and I've always wondered, why do you use Karen's voice? Well, here's the deal, and I say this boldly by the Spirit of God, and I'm just so thankful for my wife, Karen. She has ministered to me at a level, I'll just tell you on a personal level, that I've never known. She has accepted me and loved me and continues to do so for who I am. And that's another thing, too, in the Scripture where Jesus said to all the disciples, he said, who do you say I am? And I've told this before in other videos, but anyway, I'll just say really quickly. You got to imagine, in regards to your calling and what God's called you to, imagine the Lord being up here, however he is, and he's looking at you, and he says, who do you, no, I'm sorry, I was getting this wrong. Anyway, it's like, who do you, so we're looking at the Lord, who do you say we are? Who do you say we are? See, and that's what we have to know. We're gonna come cross-grain and look totally different than people and so forth and what we're called to do, and that's okay because God's on your side. I just want to encourage you about that. But it's like, I know that I'm called to be a billionaire for the kingdom. I know I'm called to create wealth for the kingdom. And especially today on Halloween, and I'm so excited about it. And here's the deal. The Lord said, Johnny, don't you get it? Karen is a person that I've sent into your life to cause you to be totally opposite of what others have perceived you to be. That's why I used her voice in that context to be able to draw you to myself through mystery and be able to call you sovereignly to the Empire State Building for such a time as this, for the glory of the kingdom. That is incredible, people. That's what he spoke to me today. It's a rock of revelation that's deep in my heart. And I'm like, Lord, you are amazing. You are amazing. And I tell you what, without my wife, Karen, and without my lovely family, I would not be able to do this. And God is saying, okay, now that you have it, your wife and your family and so forth, I'm going to start adding more people to you in this vision. You watch, you see. This is what he's saying to me. So you watch and you see. So at any rate, I just want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful Halloween. And if you haven't gone trick-or-treating, enjoy it and be blessed. Get all that candy. And it is on the eve of All Saints' Day for the kingdom. And everybody who knows the Lord is a saint for such a time as this. We are saints because we're sons and daughters of God, G-D God. So, at any rate, I appreciate your time, and have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you real shortly here for the next video coming up very soon. Keep watch. Stay tuned. All right. G-D bless you. God bless you. Shalom. And we'll talk to you later. All right. Be blessed. All right. Bye now. And this is live, so you have to bear with me a second here. And I hit stop streaming. All right. God bless you guys. All right. Bye now.